just looking for an upgrade. When the R5 II was announced, the Hammer went on vacation. It didn't knock anything out. There was C-Log 2 in there, 4K 120, HD 240. It's like, okay, Hammer went to sleep. But the sleep's over, isn't it? Look, I'm gonna buy it. It's a nice little C80. Come on, full frame Canon cinema camera. You kidding? I'm on the C100 Mark II right now. That's an upgrade, right? I'll get it. Through your affiliate links. How did you manage a full frame DGO sensor? It's not DGO.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So Canon has announced the C80, the successor to the C70. We'll get to why it's not the successor. And what have I been saying for the past 4 years? Cameras are just getting worse and worse. They're downgrades. We found alien technology in a pyramid. Nobody knows how to use it. And it was good. We did that in 2012. We got the Blackmagic OG, all this stuff. It's like, wow. But worse, every single release. Now, before we get to the most disappointing specs that I wrote down after reviewing the reviews, because Canon refuses to let me into their lunch party, I think there was a meeting about why this camera sucks. All right, fellas, it is time to upgrade the C70. That thing sold pretty well. Canon Cinema Cam, 16 stops at dynamic range. We're basically not Sony Color Science, and that's why people lick our cameras. What should we put in the successor? Oh boy, is that good news, boss. I have been waiting for this day. I wrote down so many things. C70, let's do full frame. Dual gain output, 8 megapixels, 17 stops dynamic range. Airy killer. Are you with me so far? 4K 240p, HD 390p. Dual pixel, quadruple pixel autofocus. Let's throw the kitchen sink at this thing. Johnson, it's 10 o'clock. I have a headache. You know what I had for dinner last night? Soft drinks. No, we're not doing any of that. We have to... Did you not read the manual when you walk into this building? Upgrade some features, remove others. I didn't see anything removed in your little prototype. It's just better, better, better. What is this, kindergarten? Freaking rainbow class? Sir, the most beloved spec of the C70 is the dual gain output sensor. That's why people get it. It has more dynamic range than most full frame. It's why we're here. We keep that, right? Even if it's Super 35. And we just increase the dynamic range even further. And maybe a little 4K 240p or something. And then just a little sharper of an image. Some said it was soft. I didn't even notice it. But we got a dual gain output, that's in for sure, right? Johnson, I don't make the rules of this game. It's a scary game you don't even want to ask. Who's leading it? We can't make a better camera. Do you not understand? It has to be worse in some ways to keep it alive. We don't have new tech. An alien didn't land on my lawn, okay? We have stuff. I don't even understand how the glowing cube thing works in the C40. Why don't you film your children's recital on that one? Just promise me one thing, boss. We do the CF Express B card, and now we can do 4K 120 RAW. Even with a crop. I don't even mind the crop. Can you promise me that? Define promise. Can you buy CF Express cards and have them in your house while using your SD cards? Sure. Are they going to come free with the camera? No, they're not. Can you put one in, maybe behind the LCD slot or something, resting against the side? I'll put a little groove there for you, but no, Johnson, no. Okay, so let me tell you why this camera is good, but not great, like it could have been. And before we say that, my Blackmagic OG has died a swift death in my arms. And I have a video coming soon telling you that and saying I'm gonna give it away. I just gave it away this morning, so shut your donkey mouth. Don't email me in the future episode. It's given away. It's gone. It's sad. Let's cry together. But we still have the C100. Come on. Come on. And while you may think giving away a broken camera is not a very good gift, it did work with internal batteries, but mine didn't last long enough to support my lifestyle. So like, and all the accessories I gave him with the cage and the small rig battery, it was a good gift. So I woke up this morning and saw C80 and I was like, holy shit, nobody had that rumored. That's a surprise. I love that. Screw the rumor sites. It's like something just snuck up on you and it's like, holy cow. So like, that's cool. And then I went to DP Review, read all the specs, and I was like, that's too bad. That's too bad. I'm just looking to upgrade what I already have. A C100, would this be a good upgrade to that? Yeah, probably. But like, if you're being honest with yourself, a little Sony ZV-E1, I'm doing full frame 4K 120, HD 240 with autofocus. So far, you can't do any of that, Canon. I have IBIS, I have E-mount lenses, it follows me, it tracks in, it moves with me. Frickin' autofocus. I already mentioned that. A lot easier to operate, tinier, cheaper. What are we doing? I get the cripple hammer needs to feed his family, his little baby hammers, but 26 megapixels is where you went wrong first. It's a cinema camera. What are you taking, photos of lions 30 mards away? How many mards can you even be close to a lion with? It's 26 megapixels. What are you doing? You need 18 for 6K, and that was your second mistake. You went for a 6K cinema cam instead of a nice 4K. Just imagine, 8 megapixel, C80, full frame version of the C70, dual gain output. So you have even more dynamic range because it's the same technology but bigger sensor. So we're talking ARRI level 18 stops easily in only a couple more, 4K 24p with a crop or some bullshit. You know the hammers get a swing. But instead of doing that, you went for 6K in an industry that needs nothing more than HD, if we're being real. So now that you've done that, your 4K is crippled. You can only do 4K 60 with a Super 35 crop in RAW. Goodbye to that. So you can do 6K 30 RAW or 4K 60 with a crop. That's what the X-T3 basically did. It wasn't RAW, but none of these RAW things are actually RAW now. We're being lied to. The Nikon, that's not RAW. There's no way that's RAW. It's just less processed. That's all it is. Because 4K 120 with a crop, RAW, how? The RAW has to be the whole sensor. It's not even close. And then you can bake in standard. Side by side. There's standard. That's RAW. But it looked baked. You can't have raw and baked. I was a fruitarian. If you bake apples, you have applesauce, not raw apples with cinnamon. It's bullshit. You can do 4K 120 in 10-bit, not raw, because you only have SD cards. That's fun. Or you can do HD 180 frames per second. Welcome to the Panasonic G9 of 2001. When the frickin' Flintstones met the Simpsons. Like, what is this, Family Matters or something? Urkel is gonna deliver the camera to you? It's not the 90s. We're moving past it, right? At some point, these specs, you're not even matching my ZV-E1. Now, I get that this is more capable than my tiny little shimmer beast, likely to overheat in any production setting. I'm with you, unless you get the white body, a little fan on the back. Little V-mount battery pack. But like, come on. Like, I get it's gonna blow the image away. In fact, CVP did a little side-by-side with a Sony FX6. And I was like, I threw up when I saw the Sony footage. I was like, oh my God, why did you switch to that? Immediately, it was an A-B side-by-side. And I was like, Sony left easily. Like, yeah, greens, puke, just disgust and regret. That's what Sony gives you. But the specs are high, are they not? And 1310 grams for the damn thing. My little Sony is 483 grams. So cute. I'm just pinching it. That's how you hold it. You pinch it like a teacup. It's beautiful. So like, it's just the wrong ass direction. I'm so mad at it. because like I'm looking myself to upgrade one day. I would love a Canon camera. I have 3 amazing Canon lenses that I'm just waiting for like a full frame camera to wield them, and it's like the R5 II, pretty good. You know, you could totally do that, but it's pricey for what it is, and you're just matching my Sony ZV-E1. Like, grow up if you're thinking you're getting my wallet. So it's like, this is the complete opposite of anything I would ever get. 6K, once you go 6K on your sensor, you can't go back. Your 4K is going to be worse unless you oversample it, but then it gets too hot. And then as we see, SD cards can't keep up with it, and you're not even able to do 4K 120 full frame raw. It's just only 10 bits. We're beyond that now, even though I'm in 8-bit love. In fact, I just want to switch to wide dynamic range. We're in log. I've never even tried this, wide dynamic range, and I lowered my light slightly because zebras were clipping. So like, do we need anything more than 8-bit standard straight out of camera? No. But like, the reason to upgrade for me, thinking of like C70, is just that super dynamic range cinema look. Lifted shadows, lights aren't clipping. Like in this situation, it would be dumb to film in 12-bit RAW or something. There's nothing that could even clip. These lights are dimmer than my dick. But if you were for some reason thinking the C80 is a full frame C70, it's not even close. It's not airy level. It's just really nice. 6K would be beautiful. In here, 6K RAW, you kidding yourself? Like, what would you even do with it? It's all cinema menus. It's not the same. I don't think you can even do like auto shutter like a pro would do. Imagine street videography and you're manually exposing with ND filters and shit. It's like, act natural. Grow up. When Thor no longer deserved to wield the hammer, that's how I feel on my cameras. They don't deserve wielding these EF lenses. C100's like, oh, that's really old, 8-bit only. My Nikon, thankfully Fringer is gonna send us a EF to Z adapter, and then we can see full frame finally, 85mm 1.2, you believe in that? But like, come on, I'm waiting for a Canon to walk into my life. Just inspire me with some specs. If it was full frame DGO sensor, I'd be like, maybe that's worth it. The only camera even remotely interesting right now in their lineup is the R5 II, and it's just not worth getting over my ZV-E1 that already does everything you do in a cuter, lighter, cheaper package with better lenses natively. Your mom is native to my village. I'll go home now, but do you agree with me or what? You might think, oh, he's so mad at any camera, he'll never be happy. I could find happiness in a forest somewhere. You don't know that I couldn't. This is obviously the wrong direction. I'm talking like a low... You know what I would buy right now, and then I'll leave? Fuji medium format 2 megapixel only 1080p camera. Could you even imagine? The 31 dynamic range stops. Fuji autofocus. Little flippy screen on that thing. Each pixel, you would probably see them in the shot. There'd be like 12 pixels. Like whatever, I don't even care. Airy level dynamic range. Bitcoin level dynamic range in some cultures. Subscribe for more Alexander.